actually be doing this until the new year. I've had this box a few days, but I've had a little bit of an ear and sinus infection going on, haven't really been feeling all that brilliant, and obviously with it being Christmas just gone, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to do this video until the new year or not, but I decided I've got a little bit of spare time this afternoon, I'm feeling a little bit better, so I thought I would go ahead and film this for you now. So I've been getting this box for a while, so you'll probably be more than familiar with it. It's a little bit later than it normally is, which is something that I'll get to in a second, but it is Fabfitfun, and it's the winter edition. I've got the box just here, I can pick it up, there we go. So they always have nice kind of seasonal prints on their boxes every time they send one out. So this is not something that I like to do, but I do need to start this video just with a little bit of, not necessarily negativity, but just a little bit of an experience that I've had this time around with Fabfitfun, and not all of it has been brilliant. So as I'm sure most of you are aware, particularly those of you who also received this box or have done in the past, they are a seasonal box. So they send out a box 4 times a year: spring, summer, autumn or fall, because they're American, and winter. Now I've been subscribing to this for I think it'll be about 18 months now. I think I started kind of last summer, so yeah, it works out about 18 months or so. And in that time, I have to admit, I've not had a single problem. Really enjoyed receiving the boxes. The stuff that they send you is usually really high quality, and it's different to the stuff that you would get in other subscription boxes. A lot of the stuff, with me being in the UK and this subscription being based in the US as well, a lot of the things that are included are not necessarily things that will be freely available to me in our stores and shops and things. So I really like that aspect about it, and that was one of the things that kind of drew me to subscribing in the first place. And as I say, I've not had a single issue the entire time. This time around, so again, I'm sure you're aware, what they do is they have, you can pick or customise your box. So they changed it up recently, where depending on the type of membership you have, depends on how many choices you can make. So there are 2 types of memberships. There is the seasonal, which is the one I have, and you pay every season. And there's also the select membership, which is the annual membership. So they pay a lump sum up front, and they will get all 4 boxes within that lump sum. So those people who pay for the select membership, understandably, and this is not an issue, but it's relevant to what I'm going to get to in a second, they get a certain amount of perks in obviously in exchange for being a select member. So they get to make their choices or their customizations, I think it's a couple of weeks or so earlier than the seasonal members. They also get earlier access to sales, and they're able to customize more items in their box than we are, and that's absolutely fine. You know, there has to be some perks, doesn't there? Otherwise, why would anybody pay it? So that's not the issue. What they've been doing, and what they've done the last few times, I've, at least as long as I've been subscribing, is they post spoilers on their Instagram of the items that are in each category that you can choose from. Just, you know, builds up a little bit of anticipation, a little bit of excitement, and you can also kind of say, oh yeah, I want that item from this category, that item from this, and so on. So they were doing that again this time round, and I saw a couple of the options. Some of them didn't really inspire me all that much, but from every option or every category, I was able to, you know, select at least 1 or 2 items that I would want to receive. So the day customization opened for seasonal members such as myself, I always do my selections the day that customization opens, because I know that obviously the longer you leave it, the more chance there is of certain things being out of stock or no longer available. So I did it the day that it opened. I did it a little bit later, mainly because I'd been working and I was travelling home from work, but it was still the day that the customization opened. And when I got on there, I noticed that a lot of the choices that had been advertised on the Instagram were no longer available to choose from. Now I understand that stock issues happen. I understand that they can't always predict what items are going to be popular, how much stock they might need, etc. again, that's not an issue, unfortunately. It's one of those chances that you take with this kind of subscription. But there was no kind of, there was no pre-warning, there was no communication that certain items weren't available. That being said, I was still able to make my choices. A couple of the things that were unavailable, unfortunately, were my first choices for a couple of the categories, but again, it's one of those things. I'm not kind of going to get too annoyed about that. Made my selections and then kind of went on with my day. And normally what happens is I then receive an email telling me that my card has been charged, and then I usually get a dispatch email within kind of, they say it's within a 30-day window, so you get charged and then within that 30-day window your box will be dispatched. But usually, for me, to be fair, it's been sooner than that every time so far. Normally I've received, at least based on last year, obviously I know I've not been subscribed all that long, but at least based on last year, I had received my winter box sort of the beginning of December. But this time my money didn't even get taken out until kind of the back end of November, which again, is not a problem. I understand, particularly this time of year, it's very, very busy. And they've got, I realise, a hell of a lot of subscribers. So, you know, I realise there's probably not any particular order that they take the money out in. Again, not a problem. I've got the app, so they have a mobile phone app. So again, those of you who subscribe are probably aware of this, where you can go on and check the status of your box. It will also show you what's in your box after so long. So particularly for seasonal members, there are some items in there that we can't pick. So Fabfitfun will do that selection for you. So I like to have a look and just see what I'm getting, because I'm rubbish. I was always one of those people that was trying to guess what my Christmas presents were before the actual day. So, you know, I like to know what I'm getting in advance sometimes. So I just happened to go on this one particular day and noticed what other items I was getting. One of them was something that I've already got from previous Fabfitfun box. Again, it's not the best, but I can pass it on to somebody else, so it's not a big problem. And I was just checking to see if it had been dispatched, which it hadn't at that point. I was getting a little bit, you know, worried that it wasn't going to get here in time for Christmas. It actually did, which is great, but I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to get it in time. But then a couple of days later I went on and I noticed that one of the choices that I'd made had disappeared from my product list, or my box, you know, the list of items that was going to be in my box, and it had been replaced with something else, which was something that I definitely wouldn't have picked, because it's not particularly something that I would like, or it's not really for me. It's a lovely item for somebody who would enjoy that kind of item, which you'll find out what it is shortly, but me personally, it's not for me. So I was a little bit confused. So I reached out to the customer service team on Twitter, and to give them their dues, they were brilliant. They were really responsive, really helpful. And what they said was that the item that I'd originally chosen, which was a hair product, had gone out of stock. And so what they've done is they've just replaced it with something else. And again, I understand stock issues. I understand that these things happen. My main issue was that there was no communication with me. If that had been an item that they had picked for me, I wouldn't have been as bothered, because they were just replacing one of their picks with another one of their picks. But because it was an item that I had specifically chosen because I wanted it, I was a little bit annoyed that they hadn't kind of told me that that item had been replaced. And if it hadn't been for the fact that I'd been on the app and looked myself, I wouldn't have known until the box had arrived. So they gave me the option to swap it out for something else, which I did. I chose a body oil. And they said that they would make that change for me, and that would go in my box instead of the item that they'd picked. It was an embroidery kit, so it wasn't even a like for like swap either. It was a hair item for an embroidery kit, which, you know, a little bit confusing. But again, it's a lovely, lovely item, but I don't do things like that, so it's going to be wasted on me, and I kind of feel like that should go to somebody who would use it. So left it at that. My box arrived just before Christmas, so it was probably about a week ago that it came. And the reason that I've left it this long to unbox, one is because I've been ill, and two is because I've been trying to resolve this issue. So I opened the box up, and lo and behold, the embroidery kit was there and the body oil wasn't. So once again, off I went to Twitter, and I made them aware of what the issue was. They asked me a few questions just to send them a picture of the barcode that was on the side of the box, etc., just to confirm my identity, which is absolutely fine. And then they said they would reach out to the relevant team and get back to me. And again, to give them their dues, they were really good, really responsive, and they helped me as quickly as they possibly could. So then when they did come back to me, they said that the reason the oil wasn't in the box was because when they were processing it originally, when we made the swap the first time, there had been an issue with my address coming up as invalid. Now, this is where the main issue is for me. So one, they hadn't reached out to me and told me that that was a problem, and two, the address I'd literally just had their box delivered to. So the address that they were saying was invalid, I just received a delivery from them to that same address. I've been at this address for 4 and a bit years now. I've lived here the entire time I've subscribed to Fabfitfun, and I've never had a problem receiving their boxes. And I've never had a problem. So I went onto the app, just made sure that I'd not accidentally changed anything. But no, it was the right address. Everything was exactly as it should be. So I just sent them a screenshot of that, and I was like, I'm really confused. Can you just let me know what's happening? So the next message they sent back to me was that they were going to send the oil out to me, and they'd also given me a $10 credit on my account. Now, obviously, I'm not American, as you can probably tell from my accent. So $10, I'm not sure what that converts to in pounds, but that may just kind of cover delivery for something that I may order from them, or for delivery for my next box. And again, I do understand that these things can happen, and this is the first time that this has happened to me. I'm a very understanding person with things like this. You know, I understand not everything runs smoothly, particularly for such a big company. There's always going to be slight issues, and again, the customer service was great and they did sort it out for me. The oil is now on its way out. I received tracking for it the other day. It is still in America, but obviously with it being kind of that awkward time of year, I'm not expecting it to arrive until January, and that's absolutely fine as long as I know it's coming. My main issue was the lack of communication and them not letting me know that these things had happened. Because if they'd just reached out and said, oh, can you just confirm your address because it's coming up as invalid, then this whole second scenario where I was annoyed wouldn't have happened. And if they'd reached out initially and said, oh, your third choice has gone out of stock, what would you like instead? The initial issue that I was annoyed about wouldn't have happened. So it's mainly the communication side of things for me. So it's a little bit of a gripe, and I don't like doing that. And I am going to stay subscribed, again, mainly because this is the first problem I've had, and they were really helpful when I reached out to them about it. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that it was just, you know, busy time of year, these things happen, and we'll see what happens next season in spring. That out of the way, we'll get into the actual box. So as always with Fabfitfun, they have add-ons that you can purchase as extra items for your box, usually from past seasons or from past sales that they've had. And it, again, a variety of different things. One of the things that I do love about Fabfitfun is that all the items are full-sized, usually premium, and there's such a wide array of things. So there's beauty, fitness, wellness, home, lifestyle. There's lots and lots of things to choose from. So there usually is something for pretty much everybody. So the first few times I subscribed, I didn't particularly take any notice or interest in the add-ons, mainly because I didn't want to spend any more money. But the last few times I have just had a quick browse, and every single time I've managed to find something, which is great for me but not so great for my bank balance. But this time around is no different. I had 2 things for the add-ons this time, so I'll show you those first, and then we'll get into the actual contents of the box. So let me bring these here. So the first item that I chose, I actually received a product from this brand in my last Fabfitfun box back in autumn or fall, and I really liked it. I'm still using it actually. So I thought I would give this product a try as well, and I think it was something like $9, which is not a lot of money. Again, I'm not brilliant with the exchange, but it's not going to be a lot of money in pounds. And it's Mad Skincare Breakout Control Daily Moisturizer. So this has tea tree oil, peppermint oil, ginger root extract and witch hazel. and it's designed to moisturise without clogging the pores and control oil production. So it says it's a lightweight daily moisturiser that helps control oil production and calm irritated skin. Your skin will look and feel great as the botanicals help control oil production, and gentle moisturisation keeps your skin from feeling dry and irritated. So I'm just having a look to see if there's anything else on there. No, that's just the there's other languages on there. So this is, does it say how? It's a 50 milliliter. It's wrapped up in plastic at the minute, so I can't actually get into the box itself. But I've really liked the cleanser that I got from the last box. That was actually an item that I picked. I wanted to try it out, and when I saw this, I thought, why not? It's $9, and I do like a good moisturiser. I mean, it's something that you use every day. Now, it does say acne on it there. I don't suffer from acne as such. I did have a bit of a problem, and this is very well documented. Again, I talk about this a lot. I was put on some medication last year, which unfortunately caused quite a bad reaction with my skin. I've always had pretty good skin, but my skin, it just broke out into hormonal spots. I'm now not on that medication anymore, and I'm using a prescription skincare from Skin and Me, which has really helped clear it up. And to be fair, it's not as much of a problem as it was anymore. I don't really have any spots at the minute. I've got a couple of marks where there were spots, but there's not actually any spots currently. But this kind of thing is really good to help with when your skin is having a little bit of a breakout, and to obviously try and prevent any further breakouts from happening. So I'm really looking forward to giving this a try. If it's as good as the cleanser, then I know I'm really going to like it. And then the next item is a fitness item. So I think every single time in the add-ons so far I've bought a fitness item. I train at home now, particularly since the pandemic happened. I've mainly kind of been training in my spare bedroom with a YouTube online trainer called Caroline Gervan. She's amazing, so do check her out. She's got a new program starting next week as well. So I've been trying to kind of build up the fitness equipment that I have handy at home so that I don't particularly need to go to a gym. And this was one thing that I've been looking for a while now. I have just noticed a detail on the box, which I will point out to you as well, but I'm hoping I can still make it work. So it is a balance ball. So the detail that I've just noticed is that it says for heights 5'6" to 5'11". Now I'm 5'2", so technically this is too big for me. This wasn't actually, that detail wasn't actually on the site when I purchased it, so I didn't actually realise. But I'm hoping I can make it work. Maybe if I put some kind of stacked trainers on or something to up my height a little bit. But yeah, basically, I mean, it's an exercise ball. It speaks for itself. You can use it to, a lot of people mainly use it for their abs and core, but you can also use it for your back, glutes, hips, arms, pretty much anything, to be honest. And it's by Gayam, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've had a few fitness items from them previously. They have an app as well, which is, I believe, a yoga. It's a yoga app, and it does actually mention a free online yoga class on the box there, which you will have access to. But yeah, use this basically to improve your balance, improve your core strength and your strength in general. And it also comes with the inflation pump in the box as well, so you can pump it up. And it comes with a, again, free digital workout. So I will definitely give that a go because I do love a bit of yoga. I'm just having a look to see if there's any limits, you know, to if you have to be in the US for the workout, but it doesn't state that, so I'm assuming it's worldwide. But yeah, it's 65 centimeters, so I will give this a go and see if it works for my height. Hopefully it will. I can't see a couple of inches making too much of a difference, but if it doesn't, obviously I will make sure that somebody else gets this, and I will continue my search for one that is for short people like me. But that was my second add-on item, and now we'll get to the actual box itself. So let me just bring it here. See, this is where we have to juggle now. We have to juggle everything. So let's open it up and just move the little bits of paper that are on the side there. Okay, so as always, I'm not going to hold it up, because if I hold it up I can guarantee that everything will go flying everywhere. But you'll see what's inside as we're going along. But as always, they've included a few leaflets and things in here, so we'll get these out first. So there's some little Christmassy, festive themed stickers, which I guess you can do whatever you want with those. You know, put it on a laptop, put it on a notebook, put it on your phone, put them on the wall if you want to. I can't, I rent this place. But yeah, do whatever you want. They're stickers, they're pretty self-explanatory. There's also a discount for HelloFresh. Now, obviously HelloFresh, we do have them here in the UK, but I know that this obviously is American, so I'm not sure if this would translate over into, if I tried to use this for UK HelloFresh, I'm not sure if it would work. I have used similar services before, haven't used HelloFresh, but I have used similar services and I do like it. You know, it gives you a little bit more variety in your daily diet. So you get 16 free meals with this offer, including free shipping, and you have to claim it within 30 days of receiving this. But again, I'm not sure if this would work. It doesn't say on here, US, does it say on here? On the back? Ah, so it says for customers in the United Kingdom, and then it gives you a website to go to, so it may actually work for us. So I might give that a go actually, because I love a bit of cooking. But that's that, and then as with always, there's a discount code for me to pass on to a friend who might want to try their first Fabfitfun box. So it gives them $15 off. Again, I'm not sure what that translates to in British pounds, but it's still a significant discount, because obviously you're billed in dollars anyway. So it's $49.99 per season if you're paying seasonally. So obviously getting $15 off, you're getting a significant discount, which is pretty good. And then we have the magazine, which they always send out. So usually in here what they have is so information about, they do a lot of charity work, which is another thing that I really applaud, and they've been working with a few different charities this year, so it's just a bit of an update on how their charity work has been going, how much they've managed to raise. They've raised a significant amount as well, which is brilliant. There's information about the sales that are going to be coming up over the next couple of months, and information about the member benefits that you can get from being subscribed. There's trend reports, interviews with, I'm not sure who that lady is actually. Oh, she founded one of the brands. She was actually the founder of the hair care brand that I initially picked, that I've not actually ended up receiving. So yeah, she's the founder of that company. There's information about obviously self-care and skincare, exercises and makeup. There's recipes, they look really nice. What are they? Thumbprint cookies. They look amazing. Might give them a try. And spiked oat milk hot chocolate. We've also got New York steaks with chive butter and Merlot sauce. Obviously things to do with New Year, goals to set, and then some offers that you can get on the website. So it's usually, you know, a good read for a good 15 minutes or so. Okay, so now let's get into the actual products. So this first item I already have one of, but it's not a problem because I really like it, so I've now got another one. This wasn't my first choice, I will be honest. My first choice was a skincare item, but it was by a very popular brand, both here and in the US and probably worldwide, called Sunday Riley. I've tried a couple of their items before, really liked them, but unfortunately it seems like everyone else had the same idea, and so that had gone out of stock by the time it came around to me making my selections. So this was my second choice, but I'm not too sad. So let me just grab it. And it is the Unhide faux fur blanket. So this says for love, not fur. So yeah, it's not real fur. I would never have picked it if it was real fur. But I have one of these, which I actually sit underneath every night when I'm on my computer or watching telly. and it's a silver one. So, but that one's, you know, getting a little bit scraggy now. It's seen better days. And this one is a brand new one. It's charcoal colour, so it's a little bit darker, as you can see. But it's fluffy, furry. It's just gorgeous, and I really do like it. So I'm not too sad that I've got another one. I'll have one for every room of the house soon. But again, it wasn't my first pick, but I'm not too bothered. I've got another really nice cozy blanket. You can never have too many little cozy blankets and things, can you? Particularly this time of year, and it's perfect excuse to get snuggled up, isn't it? But yeah, this was my first item. So let's pop this down here. It's quite heavy as well. It's quite weighty, so you know it's good quality. Again, these were not my first pick either, but they'll definitely get used. So my original pick that I wanted, there was some, I can't remember the brand, but there was some magnetic eyeliner and false lashes. That again, I think a lot of people have the same idea and they wanted it too. They got there first, that's how it works. But this was my second choice, but again, I'm not sad at all. Definitely use these, and I've just mentioned I do love cooking, and it's these sur la table 4-piece silicone utensil set. So we've got a spatula, we've got a slotted turner, we've got a spoon and a slotted spoon. So there's there's 2 slots and 2 non-slots. So are they red, or are they just showing as red on there? No, they are red. So then we have the slotted, oh there we go, slotted turner. Didn't want it to fall over. And again, really sturdy, good quality silicone. And is that bamboo, or is it just a wooden handle? Does it say? No, it just says made of food grade silicone, but it doesn't say what the handles are made of. Okay. So then we have, so there's the spatula. So we've got, again, slightly curved towards the middle, but then you can use this thinner side to kind of scrape things up, you know, like omelettes, pancakes, that kind of thing. There's the slotted spoon and the regular spoon. So a nice little set. I'll definitely use them, and they've got little holes there in the handle for if you have hooks on the wall to hang them up. I don't. I will just be putting them in my drawer with all my other cooking utensils. But that's a really good idea for those people that do have those hooks on the wall. A lot of kind of professional chefs use that, don't they? But yeah, this was my second choice, but definitely something that I'll still get use out of, so not an issue. And then this item was actually the item that I wanted, so I'm very happy about that. Another very wintry item, but it's a little beanie hat, but it's by Michael Kors. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that brand. So they've got the little branding tag there. Let's open this out. See if I can open this out. It's usually easier said than done, and of course I haven't come prepared with scissors, so here we go. Here we are. So here is, it's nice and soft actually, it's softer than I thought it would be. I'm just saying, yeah, one size fits all. So screw it, let's put it on. There we go. So you've got a little tag there, cute little bobble. I really like that, and that keeps your ears nice and toasty as well. Now it's going to make my hair a mess. There we are. But yeah, that was the item that I actually wanted. I don't own anything by Michael Kors, and I am quite a fan of the brand. So when I saw this, I thought, why not? Why not get that? At least it's something. And it's a nice grey colour, so it will go with quite a lot of things as well. So that was my next item. Now, here is the item that's caused me so much trouble. So it's, I think, is it Craft Crush that they're called, and it's a winter flower embroidery kit. Now, as I say, it's lovely, but it's not for me. It's not something that I'll make use out of. The original item that I picked was a hair product for, it was like a curling cream by, I think it's pronounced Briogier, which again was what I wanted, but unfortunately that went out of stock. I do have the toning body oil coming, but again, that will be in January. So once I receive that, obviously I will be including that item in my written review that I always do for these boxes as well. I will include this in just because it did come in the box, but I won't be making use out of it, primarily because it's just not something that I'm interested in. However, there are a couple of people I know who are quite creative and crafty and like using things like this, so I'm sure one of them will be able to give this a home and use it for its intended purpose rather than it just sitting in the box if it stayed here with me. But that was the item that has kind of caused me quite a lot of trouble over the last sort of few days. I'm just going to see, so it says in here it has a 7-inch embroidery hoop, 2 needles, a printed pattern canvas, 8 skeins of embroidery thread, which are 8 meters or 315 inches each, and an instruction pamphlet. So it's a nice little kit for somebody that will get use out of it. So those of you who know me, you may well be receiving this yourself shortly. But yeah, that was what should have been my 4th and final pick. That just kind of didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to this time around. So I'm just going to put the hat back in this bag just for the time being to kind of keep it relatively clean and protected until I can put it away. So now for the items that were picked for me. So I'll start with the thing that I've already got. Now I've received this, I can't remember if this was in my last Fabfitfun or if it was in summer, but it's a Barefoot Scientist foot file. It is really good. The one that I've got I have used a few times and it is really, really good, but I don't need another one. So again, I will be finding a new home for this, but it's a nice kind of, I'm not going to take it out of the packaging just so that I can pass it on to somebody, but it has kind of a bobbled side, and then the other side, I'm not sure if you can see, is just a smooth side. So you've got 2 different textures. It's not too harsh on your skin, so it doesn't hurt when you're using it, but it is really effective. And then the actual handle itself, I think is it plastic? I can't actually remember. I should have brought the one that I have in with me, but again, I'm not prepared. So that was one of the items that they picked for me. Again, if I hadn't already received that, I would be more than happy with that. I like using things like that. I like looking after myself. I like doing a little bit of pamper and self-care, so that item wouldn't be an issue. It's just that I've already got it, that's all. We also have a box, a little bit battered, but it doesn't matter because it's what's inside that counts. It's a selection of teas, so it's by Vadam Teas, who are based in India, and these are the recovery sampler. So it's 25 tea bags. So we have India's original chai tea, sweet cinnamon chai tea, turmeric and ginger herbal tea, vanilla spiced chai tea, and turmeric spiced herbal tea. So to be honest, there are a few of those in there that I will definitely enjoy. Definitely the vanilla and the cinnamon I will enjoy. I'm just having a look to see. So they're all like kind of herbal teas, real herbs, real spices, certified organic, and they're pyramid tea bags as well, which are usually better for brewing. You tend to get a little bit more flavour from pyramid tea bags. And they just come in the little packets there. So it says here, there's just a little bit of an introduction to the brand. So this is actually my first introduction to Vadam teas. I've heard of them, but I haven't tried them before. Born and raised in India, I come with a lineage above 80 years in the tea industry. We started Vadam with a mission to make available India's finest teas, spices and herbs, packaged garden fresh, sourced and delivered to consumers worldwide without unnecessary middlemen. Additionally, tea is among the largest employer of labour in India. With a homegrown brand, all profits are retained in the region, where these divine teas are nurtured by millions of growers with immense love, care and passion, a process which ultimately helps every farmer get a better price for their product. And in case you're wondering, Vadam is the reverse anagram of my father's name, Madhav. So that is from the founder, who is called Bala Sada, and he is there. So a little bit of, I like hearing a little bit of history about the brands as well that are included. So I'll definitely give a few of these a try. Not sure about the turmeric ones, but I'm open to trying it. I do love herbal teas. So again, even though this probably wouldn't have been an item I would have picked out of the selections, if I was a select member, I would have been able to make my choice for this category. I'm not too upset. Again, it's tea, I'll drink it, not a problem. And then finally, again, the last item that was selected for me by Fabfitfun are these cute little slippers. So they're kind of a leopard print pattern. I'm just seeing what size they are, just to see if it says, because I have really small feet. And these look like they might be quite big, but to be fair with slippers, it doesn't really matter as much as it would if it was a pair of shoes. Let me have a look. Let's see if it says a size on the tag that's in there. So let's get these out. So they are small, so hopefully they will be okay. They're by Isaac Mizra, and so they're kind of held together by these little plastic tags here, but as you can see, they've got a textured bottom to help you, hopefully stop you from slipping, and they feel really, really soft as well on the inside. So to be fair, I will get some use out of these. I actually do have a pair of slippers currently, but they are getting a little bit worse for wear, a little bit tatty, should I say. So this could be a perfect opportunity to replace them with a brand new pair. Again, wouldn't have been my personal first choice, but they are an item I will use, and I'm not unhappy that I've received them, particularly now feeling how soft they are. They're really, really nice actually. I feel like these are probably going to be really comfy to wear, particularly with my bobble hat, my blanket, and a cup of the Vadam teas. What could be there? Nice winter evening. So that is everything. So I'm just going to pop these slippers back in the bag as well, just again to keep them protected until I have a chance to properly unpack. So that's all of the items. So as I mentioned at the start, in terms of the prices, if you're paying seasonal, you're paying $49.99 every season, plus shipping and VAT on top if you are from somewhere that's not the US. Or if you're a select member, so that's annual membership, you pay one lump sum of $179.99, but you get all 4 boxes included in that, as well as being able to access the customization earlier, sales, add-ons, all that kind of thing a little bit earlier. So as I mentioned, postage is a further $10 if you're outside of the US, plus VAT, which is about $12. So the seasonal box is around $71.99, which I think is probably about 50 quid roughly. And that's again every 4 months. So to be honest, for the stuff that you get, again, the brands that you get, I mean, Michael Kors are a really, really high quality brand, and I've just got this, in fact, there's a price tag on this hat. That hat itself is worth $48 just on its own. I've paid about 50 quid for the box. So I've basically got a hat for that price, and the rest of it was free, if you're gonna look at it like that. So, you know, I can't complain with the items that you get included. And because it's every 4 months, I think it makes it that little bit more exciting as well. And some of the options that you get to pick, they're really suited to each season. So, you know, obviously the winter stuff, you've got slippers, bobble hats, teas, blankets. In the summer, they have things like water bottles, things for taking outside to the beach, then beach towels, exercise equipment. In spring, you know, they have such seasonal items, and I really like that. I've managed to get so many things again that I wouldn't normally have been able to access, and that is one of the things that has kept me subscribing to this box, and it's the thing that is saving them and keeping me subscribed this time despite the slight wobble. I mean, hopefully that was just a one-off and it won't happen again. If it does, I may have to have a little bit more of a think about whether it's worth it's worth it. But to be honest, with the items that you get, I can't really complain. Even with the item that I've already got and the item they've sent me that I didn't want, they are replacing that, and it will come It's on its way. It's just obviously going to take a little bit longer. But even with that, I'm still happy with the remainder of the items. So with regards then to how you make your selections, if you are a seasonal member, you get to make 4 choices, and the rest are picked by Fabfitfun. Whereas if you are a select member, or an annual member, you can customize your entire box. So they changed that recently, so that you could actually select all the items in the box, rather than, I think it was 5 items before, and for seasonal it was 3, but they've moved it up 1 for seasonal, and they've changed it to the entire box for select. So that being said, I'm just gonna pop everything back in. So we had these Isaac Mizrahi slippers, the Vadam Teas recovery sampler, so there are 25 tea bags in there. The Barefoot Scientist foot file, again, which I've already got, but I will find another home for it. It's a really good item. The Craft Crush Winter Flower Embroidery Kit, which will be passed on and will be replaced with a body oil. Michael Kors Beanie Hat, very pleased with that. Sur La Table 4-piece silicone utensil set, really good quality. And finally the Unhide faux fur blanket, which I'm going to unwrap and get snuggled under very shortly. So that's everything that was in my box. Apologies again for the slight moan at the start. I always want to be as honest as I can in these videos, and whenever I've had, sorry, I'll just knock the camera, there we go. Whenever I've had a good experience, I always want to let people know that I've had a good experience, and I feel like it's only fair to do that. The same if there's been a little bit of an issue or a bad experience. I want to be as open. I don't want to be one of those people that pretends to love everything or pretends to be really happy with everything all the time. I feel like that comes across as false, and it's not fair to you guys. It's not telling the full truth, and I want to be somebody that tells the truth. So anyway, enough of that. Overall, I'm still happy, but hopefully that little niggle won't happen again. So that's everything that I was going to show you. Again, not forgetting my add-ons, which I will just quickly recap. There was the Breakout Control Daily Moisturizer, and also, when I can reach it, the Gaiam Balance Ball as well. So overall, again, I'm not sad. I'm happy with everything. Everything's really good quality, and I'm sure I will get a lot of use out of the items that I'm going to be keeping. Once that body oil comes, of course, I'll be very happy to receive that as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry it was a bit longer than normal. I just had to kind of let everybody know what the state of play was, just in case you were somebody that's had a similar problem as well. But yeah, don't let that put you off from subscribing. They're still a great company, great service, and the items that you receive every month are brilliant. So don't let that put you off. I'm not letting it put me off, but I wanted to portray the truth and the full situation. So that's why I kind of started with that. Ending on a positive note, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you had a lovely Christmas, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely new year. Let's hope 2022 brings us some relief from the past 2 years of horror that we've all experienced. I'm sure we're all kind of ready to get back into normality at some point in the next few months. But thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.